Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. I am David Okwasile. The headlines this morning. Anambra State Government urges security agencies to intensify fight against crime and criminality. Miners Association of Nigeria South East Zone initiates measures to tackle illegal mining activities. Nigerian troops kill scores of Boko Haram terrorists in Lake Chad region. On the foreign scene, Libya death toll rises to over 200 as Tripoli fighting continues. The state government says it will do anything possible to apprehend and bring to book the killers of late Chief Tony Boka. Governor Willie Obiano was speaking through his deputy, Dr. Nkemo Keke, when he paid the family of the deceased a condolence visit at Nimo in Njiko Council area. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Late Chief Iboka, who met his death at the eve of Tuesday at Nimo, was until death the President General of Nimo community. He was also a one-time member of the State House of Assembly and former local government chairman of Njikoka. Governor Obiano expressed sadness over the sudden death of late Chief Iboka, whom he described as a great man who did not only serve his community during his lifetime, but the entire state. The governor said that the investigation is already on to unravel circumstances surrounding the death of the Nimo PG, and the perpetrators of the dastardly act will be brought to book in no distant time. He encouraged in the Anambra not to live in fear, as the protection of their lives and properties are still guaranteed under his watch, while calling on security agencies in the state to beef up efforts in the fight against crime and criminality to maintain the status of the state as the safest in the federation.
I can't believe some of this still happen in our state. Of course, the governor is really upset. He's given directive to the national police to fish out the perpetrators of this terrible act. We can't have something like this happening in our state, not now, not with the effort we've made in terms of security of lives and property in our state. So I believe they will be caught, they will be brought to justice sooner than later.
Consoling the family, the member representing Njikoka 2 at the State House of Assembly, Honorable P.T. Bida, who regretted Chief Iboka's untimely demise, advised the family to trust in God and be prayerful as justice would be given to their late father.
I sympathize with them and pray for them that God will console them, because there's nothing we humans, we can't do much.
From Nimo, in Njikoka local government area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And on a sad note, Mrs. Angore Kachimoba, a mother of two in her late 30s, has been battered with a substance suspected to be acid by her husband, Mr. Onyachonam Chimoba, who allegedly opposed his wife's demand for divorce. According to the Anambra State Commissioner for Children and Women Affairs, Lady Ndidi Mezue, the victim who has sought divorce, accusing her husband of living a questionable life, was with her husband in the Ministry of Children and Women Affairs Oka Tuesday and earlier Wednesday, where their differences were being resolved. Correspondent Daniel Eziwe has more on the report.
According to the commissioner and other eyewitnesses, including the mother of the victim, it was after they left the ministry that the husband brought out a bottle containing the harmful substance which he hid in his clothes and poured the contents on the victim, causing serious burns on her face down her body. The victim was then rushed to the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amak, Oka, where the commissioner, Lady Mezuo, had already visited and promised to support her.
It's so shocking and I don't know how to express my feeling. It's so sad, it's very painful. The man in question is now with the B division, as he is now in the custody of the police. It's between him and the law. So I think for now my ministry has answered off the case. We don't have anything to say for now.
The doctor who was treating the victim, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said the substance had caused severe damage to the woman's skin. He said the patient had received treatments and will be taken to the plastic surgery unit for further medical attention. The husband, who is already in the police custody, is a native of Umiata Nam in Anambra West Local Council area. In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
The Miners Association of Nigeria South East Zone has resolved to tackle illegal mining activities across the area. The chairman and national coordinator Southeast Zone of the association, Chief Henry Bailey, disclosed this when he led other members of the group to a courtesy call on the traditional ruler of Oka, Obi Gibson Mosu, at his palace. Blessing Uchendo tells us more.
Chief Ibweni, who said that the aim of the visit was to look into the challenges facing the Miners Association Southeast Zone, as well as to provide solutions to them, maintained that the zone wants to enforce the provision of the Mining Act in terms of regulating mining activities. He also spoke of the urgent need to bring together all stakeholders in the mining industry, including the miners, the state government, the federal authorities, and the Miners Association to form strong fronts to streamline the mining industry codes and abolish all informal minings and create desired standards.
We have tin, and they will have sharp sand, lateral, and the other ones that they will tell you is not in commercial quantity, but it's a lie. They smuggle all these things out of the state.
In their separate speeches, the chairman, Imo State Chapter Miners Association, Pastor Chuks Oriako, and his Ebonyi State counterpart, Dr. Sunday Chukwu, complained that some individuals formed Miners Association in the area without being duly registered, thereby causing problems in the association, and stressed the need for the miners in the zone to be accorded due recognition. Welcoming the group, Obi Gibson Mosu, who is also the national patron, Southeast Zone of the association, commended them for their efforts at eliminating quacks in their various states and advised informal miners in the zone to obtain their license either as an individual or as a cooperative society and ensure that they operate within the confines of laid down laws. He also urged the Federal Ministry of Mines not to recognize groups that refuse to register with the appropriate bodies.
Anybody, according to the Constitution, can form any organization because we have freedom of speech and freedom of association. But when these organizations are at the formative stage, we hereby plead with the parent body at the Federal Ministry of Mines not to recognize any such groups that did not register with the Miners Association of Nigeria.
In Oka, Blessing Uchendo, ABS News.
The Anambra State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Andrew Kumapai, has commended the state government for promoting road safety programs. Speaking during a courtesy call on the Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Uchen Okafor in Oka, Mr. Kumapai extolled the efforts of the Commission in ensuring free flow of traffic throughout the state. He noted that state government's policies have greatly helped in reduction of accidents, improved free flow of traffic, even during U-tide, and has further enhanced the cordial relationship that exists between the ministry and the Anambra State Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Commission and Federal Road Safety Corps, and called for continued partnership to achieve the desired goals. Responding, Honorable Okafor thanked the visiting team and pledged his continuous support in ensuring free flow of traffic in the state, and asked the sector commander to feel free and carry out his duties as Anambra remains the safest state in Nigeria. We move on now to the national scene, where the troops of the Multinational Joint Task Force have neutralized 39 Boko Haram terrorists while on clearance operation in consonance with the Operation Yasin Tafki across Kawa village in the Lake Chad region. During the encounter, 20 soldiers were wounded and have been evacuated for medical treatment, according to a statement released by Colonel Ezindo Idima, spokesman of Sector 3 of the Operation Lafia Dole. He added that 2 gun trucks, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 9 AK-47 rifles, 1 HK-21 rifle, and 4 rocket-propelled guns were recovered from the insurgents. In a similar development, the Chadian Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Tahir Eldar, paid a morale-boosting visit to combined troops undergoing Operation Yasin Tafki in the front line. He was received and briefed by the Land Component Commander of Operation Yasin Tafki, Major General Olufemi Akinjobi, in Kinasra Cantonment, Mungono. In his remarks, General Eldar called for more regional operation in ending the surge of insurgency in the Lake Chad Basin while urging the troops to create a good relationship towards achieving the aim of the ongoing operation. On business this morning, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the National Minimum Wage Bill into law. The Senate on March 19 passed the bill approving 30,000 naira as the new minimum wage. The House of Representatives had earlier passed the bill before the National Assembly shut down its operations to enable lawmakers participate in the 2019 general elections. National President of Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Ayuba Waba, had on Saturday last week gave May 1 as the deadline for the president to sign the new minimum wage. At least 205 people have been killed in the battle for control of the Libyan capital Tripoli, the World Health Organization, as the UN-recognized government said it will approach the ICC against reneged General Khalifa Haftar. United Nations affiliated body said it had deployed medical specialties to support frontline hospitals as the recent fighting has also left more than 900 wounded. According to WHO, at least 18 civilians were among those killed in the fighting that broke out on April 4 when renegade General Haftar launched an offensive to take Tripoli, controlled by the UN-recognized Government of National Accord, GNA. Haftar moved much of his eastern-based Libyan National Army (LNA) forces north to try and take Tripoli. Yesterday, armed groups attacked a major air base in southern Libya controlled by the renegade general. It is the main base in southern Libya, which the LNA seized earlier this year. And on sports, Nigeria Football Supporters Club have announced plans to support Egypt with about 500 members to drum support for the Super Eagles at the forthcoming Nations Cup. Disclosing this to the media when he officially unveiled plans by the club to support the various national teams as they prepare to participate in World Cup and Nations Cup, the national chairman of the club, Reverend Emmanuel Iba, announced that the club was making necessary arrangements with the various embassies to ensure that travel documents are procured on time for members. Nigeria will this year participate in Africa Cup of Nations Cup in Egypt, Women World Cup in France, Under-20 World Cup in Poland, and the Under-17 World Cup in Brazil. And the BA is optimistic that the supporters club, as the number 12 player on the pitch, will be there to cheer the teams to victory, even as he commended their sponsors. And that is the news. But before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page, ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. The Anambra State government has urged security agencies to intensify fights against crime and criminality. Miners Association of Nigeria Southeast Zone has initiated measures to tackle illegal mining activities. Nigerian troops have killed scores of Boko Haram terrorists in Lake Chad region. On the foreign scene, we told you that Libya death toll has risen to over 200 as Tripoli fighting continues. And that is the news this morning. I am David Obowasele.